Please stay tuned to this video, as at some point in it I'm going to discuss how you can get your hands on one of these two video game systems. Hi, I'm Andrew Armstrong and welcome to the Back Office Teardown Lab. Today we have a retro gaming episode because I've been to visit my good friend Tim and he has purchased this from Debenhams in the UK. It's a retro console, but you can see from the box that it's a Famiclone. That means it's a copy of the original Japanese Nintendo Entertainment System. And it claims to have over 400 16-bit titles, which seems a little bit far-fetched to me. And really, Debenhams have been getting rid of these because these originally marked up £35. They're £10 at the moment, potentially because they've got copyright content on them and they are trying to bin them as fast as possible. So we're going to have a look inside the box and try a few of these titles out. That's the front of the box. You can see, shows a little gifty gift. Don't know what that means, probably something to do with their Christmas promotion. Includes over 400 16-bit games, does say that. And there you have your Famiclone, and interestingly it's a front joystick port variant, so more rare. Also, there's no eject lever on here. That's how it differs from the original Dendy or something like that you might have. And it shows some pictures on the back that this don't look particularly 16-bit, I have to say. And it does say gift £35 there from Debenhams Retail Limited. And there's another picture of it again. So you see the pads there, plugged into the front, and potentially a cartridge. So that's interesting because some of them just have games built in rather than on an actual cartridge. That kind of implies that maybe it's got a working cartridge port. Ooh, Orb Gaming. So there's your reset and your power. It's quite a positive click there. AC adapter, joypads, AV cable. Oh, and a cartridge. Look at that. Loads of games. I'll zoom on the label for you in a moment. So what can we see? It just says AV and DC. Nothing much on the bottom, although it does clearly have Debenhams Retail, so were ordered. Something you'll notice, look at those joypads. They're not plugged in at the front, they're hard-coded. So hard-coded, hardwired, pretty much like the original Famicom. And I'm noticing very, very deep set buttons there. I suppose they're okay though, probably do the job. So let's have a look at this cartridge. I think that's interesting. See if there's any titles of note. Silkworm, that's a real game, I've heard of that one. Defenders City, probably that tank game. Bucky O'Hare, that's a real game. Panda World, maybe not. The Adventures of Tom Sawyer. Alien. And I'm slightly rocking it because it's really hard to read. This is actually quite tiny and it's quite shiny, so I'm just sort of rocking it over. Not seeing many more I recognise, but you'd have to go through really closely. Like here, there's a Chase HQ right there. War Mouse, you know that one. Ren Stimp. Everybody likes a game of Ren Stimp. And then on the back, there's even more. Some Twinfish, Qbert, Pipe Dream, Duck Egg. It's not even Duck Egg, it's Duck EEG. Doesn't look like a regular cartridge though. Let's have a look in that porthole, shall we? There's no notching to take a particular shaped cartridge, so potentially you might be able to shove it in backwards. Don't do that. And that's it. So it's pretty standard stuff. Should we have a quick look under the hood? I think we will. Let's take the accessories away for the moment. So that's all the screws. There's no eject mechanism to unplug. Oh, can you believe that? There is literally, wow, nothing in this. I mean, I'm blown away. I actually thought that there was going to be at least some PCB in here, but they've really gone bare bones in the construction. I'm just turning it over. I'm not even going to take that board out because it is literally everything you see here. It's just a single blob resin coated chip. With here it says 60-pin connector, and look at those pins nicely bent over. Try not to short. And you can see you've got your reset line here and your power line, and this other board really, again, just contains here the LED and the resistor. and you've got a very fine ribbon cable that's just going off to get the DC power and the AV out. So very reduced design. You could actually build a Famiclone pretty much into anything. If you want to use this to create your own portable Famiclone, for example, all you need is a composite compatible monitor, which a lot of those little monitors are, you know, just like even a parking monitor from a car, or an AV, an old DVD player, car DVD player. There's a lot of those things. You could build this functionality right in. Now the power of this will be, of course, whether or not that cartridge is actually functional. If you recall though, I did cover the handheld ones that are available on eBay, and those had some legit titles. So they've got Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, Super Mario Brothers, some have Super Mario Brothers 2, some have Super Mario, oh my gosh. The round blobby chip is on this side. I have to remember when I put this back in, but oh, look at that. So you have here the focus, please. Oh, my camera's having a lot of trouble focusing these days. Whatever that chip is doing, who knows. There is a diode here that looks like potentially it's a configuration, or they've just removed two components and found a way of replacing it with one single component. I suspect this is a controller, potentially the menu software, because on the back that suspiciously looks like a flash chip, and that'll contain your games. Might be a nice little design to figure out these if you want your own cartridge flash ROM. And again, if you've got a NES or something, you could probably run this in that. It might be a good way of actually getting some test games. You know, you want just some games to test out. Have I broken the thingy? No, it seems to be still functional. Let's get this plugged in and actually play some games, shall we? So let's fire up this bad boy. So there you go, 400 in one real games. Exciting. Cage, Final Mission, Silkworm. You can hear from the sound, it sounds pretty much exactly like all of these. I'm going to try Bucky O'Hare because that sounds like a real title. Bucky! Captain Bucky O'Hare! Ooh, Japanese. Come on, come on. I can't remember these games having so much bloody writing. Get on with it. Alright, enough of that. I can't be bothered. Silkworm. I think it's got to be the original Silkworm. Oh, this is such a good game. First things you've noticed, they're not 16-bit. Now I'm going to try something else. I'm going to literally turn it off, remove the cartridge, turn it on. The games are literally on the cartridge. Ah, Rolling Thunder. To be honest, because of these are so thick, these controls, if you look at them, they're actually very high. They're about 5 mils press. You're worried that you think they're going to be unplayable. Actually, they're okay. It feels all right. Prince Valiant, wasn't that a cartoon back in the day? Fender City, where what? Cuba Revolution. Do you remember that game? We all used to play Cuba Revolution, didn't we? An SNK game. No way, this is weird, isn't it? Oh, it's like Commando. Cuba Revolution, boys. Rad Gravity. Puzzle Quest. Big D. We all like a Big D, don't we? Snow Bros, such a great game. Rescue. Wampum. Zoids. Zoids, that was a great cartoon. Do you remember the toys as well? Some of these games like Zoids will have you wishing that you could understand Japanese because they look actually pretty good. Tailspin. Oh, Tailspin. What else we got? Rocky and Bullwinkle. Adventure of Tom Sawyer. Not a title I recall, and certainly not a cartoon. Alien. Not the alien we're thinking, I suspect. Three Eyes. Possibly one. Road Blasters. A bit of Fighting Road. Bad Dudes versus Dragon Ninja. Don't recognise any of these here, but although I'm tempted by Super Duper Machine here. Euphoria. Crash Boy. Hero Soccer. Dodgeball. The Mighty Final Fight. I think we have to have a go at Mighty Final Fight because that's page 95 though. Number 95, we'll remember that. We're only a quarter of the way through of all of these amazingly bad titles. What? This is actually Final Fight. No way! I'm Cody. Wah. This is one of the later versions when he had the Dragon Punch. Okay. Consider me impressed. Captain Majid, Tato, Chase HQ, Ren and Stimpy, Cool World, Jackal, Double. Oh, Life Force. That should be a good shooter. A bit of Clim Fandango, Luck Ball, Pulveration. Strong pill, that's what I need. Do, 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 do. His name is Muad'Dib. It is a killing word. The legendary gate. Maze Maid. The rural goblin. Space War. Daiboken. Isn't this Ninja Gaiden? No, it's not. Back to the Future. Hubert. I can remember. Super X-Wing. I didn't even know they released that on NES. Papaya. Boy. Friday the 13th. Oh, and Gradius. Hello, kiddie. The Legend of Cage. Didn't we already see Cage? Strangely enough, we've only been a few minutes at this, and it's already starting to glitch out. I thought it might be the cartridge, so I've put it inside out, blown in the edge connector, but it's still occasionally freaking out. Very exciting screen because you have Pac-Land, the Tower of Juaga, Twinbee, a real game, 1942 and Bomb Jack, Arkanoid, and Dig Dug 2. The sequel. Ponycat. The Chubby Cherub. Flappy. The game all the kids want to play, Magic Mathematics. To be honest, some of these really aren't that bad. I know there are a lot of titles that we haven't heard of, but clearly it's not all shovelware. These are just legitimate games that were released in Japan. Small Mario! I think we need to see Small Mario. Absolutely not what you were thinking. Good luck playing Duck Hunt without a shooter or a port to plug one into. Always a Mahjong game. Absolutely impossible to play. Ninja Glider. Excite Bike. Lunar Ball. Joust. And Devil World. Kung Fu. I find it really weird that there are not one but two Tom Sawyer games. Now, Tom Sawyer certainly can't have been a Japanese IP. And more importantly, Milk Nuts. Retro classics here with Millipede and Galaxian. My favourite game on the system, Othello. Daisakusen. Is that Ninja Gaiden? Clearly not. Nothing of note. Cybernoid. And Hurry Burry. Pokemon? I wanna be the very best, like no one ever was. Woo, Pikachu! At the end of the day, what's the takeaway from this? For £10, it seems a pretty reasonable price. You have decent controllers, despite how they look, they actually handle pretty well. Fair selection of games, rare titles that you wouldn't have heard of, and of course, Japanese import titles that you definitely would never have heard of, but they're worth playing. Despite the language barriers, you'll figure out a bunch of them. The ability to take real cartridges is obviously a plus. Composite output rather than HDMI is a bit, weak, but frankly, who cares? It's a toy that you can play on. Now, why they're trying to get rid of them? Probably a couple of reasons. A lot of Japanese language games in there, so I'm guessing they probably would have had a bunch of complaints. £35, I'd be pretty unhappy. Yeah, £10, I'd probably not bother sending it back. But more importantly, games like this, which say licensed by Nintendo, property of Nintendo, blah blah. I'm pretty sure Nintendo didn't endorse this Orb Gaming video game system. But if you're on the lookout and they're still available in Debenhams and you've got a tenner burning a hole in your pocket, why not order one? And of course, the moment you've been waiting for, how do you get hold of one of these in our giveaway? I've got 2 to give away. What you need to do is comment down below of this video and say gimme, 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 or something convincing to see why you're deserving, and I will do a little tombolery lottery and pick your name at random, and I'll contact you to get you one of these. In terms to contact you, of course, it's easier also if you're on my Discord, and of course if you like or subscribe, you will hear the results, of course, of that tombolery thing. As ever, thank you for watching.